Hi, welcome to the Jezebel Way. I'm Michelle, and I'll be doing your love and then some readings for the earth signs, and I'm starting with Taurus. Remember, these readings are general, and they may not resonate with everyone, so if you'd like to book a more personalized read with me, my information's in the description box below, and you can reach me at thejezebelway@gmail.com. I'll be doing 3 for you, 3 for your lover, and 3 for the state of the relationship. Oracle cards and romance angels. So I'm going to be using the regular universal weight deck today. Let's get started. Let me warm these cards up a little bit. Coming toward Taurus in love, first half of September. What does Taurus need to be mindful of in love, first half of September? Spirit, show me what I need to see for Taurus in love, first half of September. Alright, bottom of the deck we have the moon. Now the moon symbolizes things that are in the dark that you can't see in the light. So there's some sort of deception, okay, surrounding something. So that's going to be our overall arching energy for the read. In addition to the Knight of Cups. Now the Knight of Cups is, knights, they go out on their battle and they come back after they're done. This is a very romantic night because cups are love. However, this knight may not be sure that what he actually wants is someone. Sometimes he's just in love with the idea of being in love. So we'll kind of see where this leads us. 3 for you. First line and second lines can be reversed according to how they apply to you. In this reading, I'll be referring to Taurus as the first line. Okay, so Taurus, for you it looks like there's an offer of love, immature love. A lot of times this is a pure, innocent love. Of course, a younger water sign. So there needs to be a balance. We have temperance with love and money. And for your partner, you have the Queen of Wands, the World, and the 3 of Swords. So the Queen of Wands is a fiery energy. She kind of brings life to situations. She's also one for good counsel. So with the World card and the 3 of Swords, I can only assume here that, some kind of relationship has ended at this point with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sag. Or there's been a good relationship, good counsel that's come to a close. This could be also a death to passion. Your line looks like this, balance between love and money. Okay. King of Pentacles is a good, kind king, but he is all about his pentacles. In other words, he's not necessarily going to be one that's going to be showy with his wealth, but he certainly wants the wealth. And he's a gentleman that will want to live in a nice home, will want to drive a nice car just for the sheer pleasure of having those things. Doesn't necessarily mean there's arrogance in wealth. It just means that he is all about his pentacles. Very grounded energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. So this could be you represented in this line, that you need balance and love, or this could be a balance between money and love. maybe more emotion as opposed to groundedness. Queen of Wands, the World, and the Three of Swords. So to me, this kind of means that, there's been an end to something due to a heartbreak. This could be an end to passion due to a heartbreak, or this could be an end with a fire sign in a relationship. But, with the World card, the things that come to an end also start again, because this is the last card. So the Fool starts the journey all over again after this. Final potential state of the relationship, we have the Magician, we have the Three of Cups, and we have the Five of Pentacles. So someone's trying to manifest something here, maybe perhaps a soulmate. Maybe they're trying to manifest love itself in this relationship. I'm going to assume that this is not third party just yet, but we do have the Deception card here. So as a result, someone's been left out in the cold due to this. Okay, could have been a third party relationship. So let's just kind of see what the cards have to tell us. Please clarify the Knight of Cups for Taurus. Please clarify the Knight of Cups for Taurus. Okay, so the Knight of Cups is clarified by the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands usually means somebody standing their ground. Maybe somebody is having a hard time letting go of something. Sometimes this isn't necessarily a card of conflict, but rather holding on to things that we really need to let go. So maybe, somebody's holding on to this relationship and they really shouldn't be because of this. Please clarify the Moon card for Taurus and love. Please clarify the Moon card for Taurus and love. Okay, so the Moon card is clarified by the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords, of course, is the truth sayer. This is a woman who's been through it all. She's been through mental imprisonment. She's been a victim. She's sometimes thought of as a widow. And so she just does not have time because she's been through it all. She's seen it all, and she can see it coming a mile away. But notice her sword is pointed upright to the heavens. So this isn't a malicious, because it's in the upright, a malicious person or a malicious feeling. This is more along the lines that the truth needs to be spoken. Okay, the truth regarding this deception needs to be spoken, and someone is holding on really to something that they shouldn't be any longer. Please clarify the King of Pentacles for Taurus and love. Please clarify the King of Pentacles. Okay, the King of Pentacles is clarified by the Seven of Cups, which is illusion of choice. Okay, about making choices. Could be options available to Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn that they're not aware of. But, the King of Pentacles is kind of undergoing some emotional confusion. Which is clarified by betrayal, Ten of Swords. So, King of Pentacles here in this situation is, he's kind of undergone some emotional confusion due to betrayal, okay? Somebody's hanging on to something that they shouldn't be here, and the truth needs to be spoken. There needs to be a balance between the idea of love, okay, the idea of love, because this is an immature offer of love, and a really grounded, kind of stable love itself. We also have the Walking Away card. The Eight of Cups tells us that either we're walking away from a situation that no longer serves us, it's no longer serving our highest good. Or, as you can see, there's a missing cup there. So this gentleman may be walking away to find what's missing in his life. Again, I said, there could be an issue where we need to make a balance between love and money. So maybe the King of Pentacles has been betrayed. He's undergone some sort of emotional confusion. And he wants to go see if there's something more to life, something more to love. We have the moon. Okay, the moon and the sun together. Okay, couples. So that could mean love, or, it could mean some deception. He's wearing the red cloak, which is, a symbol of freedom. So he is free now because he's been betrayed. He's no longer holding on, but he's gone out to seek an adventure, to see if there's more to life and more to love than what he has experienced. Please clarify the Page of Cups for Taurus and love. And Taurus is the bull, so can't cage a bull really good. Can't do that. They have to be free a little bit. So Page of Cups is clarified by Three of Pentacles, which could be education. It could be learning something new. It could be planning in the future. But notice that the gentleman is standing on a stool here, or some sort of bench, okay? And these two people are down below here. So what this could also indicate is that perhaps this was an uneven relationship. And that would make sense since we have the Page of Cups, which is not the King of Cups. It's not the Queen of Cups. It's the Page. So there could have been some immaturity in this relationship. We have the King of Pentacles here. So this would indicate to me maybe the King of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, was in a relationship with a younger water sign, or maybe a water sign that wasn't quite mature enough to be in a solid, steady, stable relationship, which the King of Pentacles would provide, because these are earthly things, and the Pentacles are kind of grounded to the 3D. They will speak of earthly things. So, maybe this younger water sign or this immature person was not ready for, a solid, steady family, finances to be solid and steady, building legacies for the future. So to me, this indicates that maybe this was an unequally yoked situation. In addition to that, we have the Empress. So the Empress speaks to abundance. Okay, she's the mother of all. She's the mother of all. She's the queen of all queens. So maybe, this immature person here is really this. Okay, but they've not gone through the journey. They've not had enough experience in life to turn into this yet. This is what they will become, but they're not old enough yet to have had enough experience in life to reach their journey to the Empress. It could also be that we have Three of Cups, we have the Moon, we have the Empress. So this could also indicate that an offer was made to another person, the Empress. Okay, so maybe this is another woman, another man, because we have all the threes here. So we'll kind of see where the story leads us. But an offer was made to another person in this relationship. They were very mature. They weren't ready for something solid and stable. And they made and the page, it's another page. So there are two pages here. So really, these are people who, they're not even knights yet, right? They're kind of adolescents. So, it was an immature offer, but it's a solid, steady offer, okay? Except, the Page of Pentacles is really kind of more interested in his pinnacle than he is in the offer of love, okay? He will turn into the King of Pentacles eventually, but now he is just a page, and he's really interested in this pinnacle and this offer. So the offer, in other words, to this other person is really all this person's concerned about. And they're not concerned about what happens after they made the offer, okay? So again, we have a level of immaturity. We have maybe another offer having been made to someone else. The King of Pentacles is under some emotional confusion due to betrayal. And there needs to be a balance struck in this situation between love and money, between maturity and immaturity, unequally yoked, relationships that are not on equal playing field. So he set off on this journey to kind of find what else is there out there. And there's going to need to be healing from this situation with these immature earth and water signs. Let's see what this Queen of Wands is all about here. So far we have 2 queens, hopefully not 3. Well, no, that's wrong. We have the Empress, we have the Queen of Wands, and we have the Queen of Swords. So, along with 3 threes, 3 queens also means deception, that there's deception at the bay of this thing here. I'm not going to say these are 3 women yet because we really don't know if that's the case, but Taurus, as bulls go, there's more than one cow. So we'll just kind of see where it goes, but we do have the 3 of Cups. Let's just kind of see what happens with this Queen of Wands. Please clarify Queen of Wands for Taurus's partner in love. Please clarify Queen of Wands for Taurus's partner in love. Okay. So what we have here is the Queen of Wands. She's fiery. She's the diva of the deck. She stops at nothing to get what she wants. But in addition, she does give good counsel. She brings life to situations. She brings passion to situations. And that's clarified by the 4 of Wands. So, maybe this fire sign is a solid, steady, stable, mature thing that you're looking for, Taurus, and a partner. Maybe this is who this is here. So we'll just kind of see what happens. But, there is a king and queen here, okay? So this would be evenness. This would be an even playing field because there's a king and a queen. It's not a page and a king. It's a queen. So maybe, there's some sort of an event. But 4 speak to solid and stable. That's clarified by the 6 of Cups. So you could take this one of 2 ways. The 6 of Cups normally people refer to as the soulmate card. A lover from the past, or thinking nostalgically about the past. So maybe the Queen of Wands is your soulmate. Maybe you've been thinking about this fire sign, Taurus, and, that's who you want to be with because you're thinking nostalgically about that. And you either have a celebration with that person in mind, or you have in mind a solid, steady, stable relationship. This is also the marriage card, but I don't see the Hierophant here yet, so we'll just talk about maybe some good times in the past that you guys had, and it was pretty solid when you were together. That's clarified also with the Death card. You know, maybe something happened in this past relationship, Taurus, that was pretty happy for you, that came to an end. You know, maybe it's a Scorpio that you're dealing with, you know. But something ended in this relationship as well. There is the Hanged Man, you know, which sometimes speaks to feeling stuck. You know, maybe Taurus, when you were with this Queen of Wands, you were the Page of Pentacles, and you weren't quite ready for something solid and steady yourself. But the Hanged Man can also be a sort of enlightenment. This is the card of Pisces. You know, the Hanged Man here, he doesn't look too sad. If we turn it up, you can see the face. He doesn't look like he's suffering, you know. So he has an understanding that no one else sees. You know, he doesn't look like he's stuck to me. But, you know, we'll kind of see where this goes. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. So far, I see a lot of pentacles in this read. There is some water, but there's a lot more pentacles here. So sometimes, you know, this speaks to relationships being solid, secure financially, happy family, you know, building legacies for the future. But if you'll notice here, there's a gentleman sitting here that no one seems to be paying attention to. So sometimes this can speak to marriages or relationships being more about money than they are about true happiness. It paints a pretty picture, right? It looks solid and stable from the outside. But, you know, you can't have a relationship that's based solely on money. You have to have relationships that have all the things involved. You have to have wands for passion. You have to have cups for love. You have to have pentacles to kind of go about your life, right? And you have to have swords. You know, your minds have to be connected as well. So, you know, while this may speak to a happy family, you know, this is nice, isn't it? But maybe somebody was more focused on their pentacles than they were the love in this particular situation. And that's why it came to an end. Please clarify the Three of Swords for Taurus and love. Please clarify the Three of Swords for Taurus and love. Okay, so before I go any further, I just want to show you what an equally matched relationship in the cards looks like. This is the Twin Flame card also, but you see how they're on a level playing ground here? How they're holding each other, embracing one another while, you know, their children are playing. And, you know, they have a modest house in the background, but everything looks good and stable. Okay? And they're not one man up, one man down here. So right here is the perfect balance of a love that has all of the things. The wands, the swords, the cups, and the pentacles. Okay? This is what it should look like. It should not look like a relationship that's focused solely on money. A relationship that's focused solely on the intellect, because that can be kind of cold. And something that's not focused solely on passion, because, you know, that can burn out. So this is what, you know, what you need. And you have the Three of Swords here, clarified by some fast-moving communications about, you know, kind of a resurrection of something, a resurrection of a happy family. However, this heartbreak may have happened largely due to the fact that it was not even. There was no evenness in this relationship. It was one more thing than it was another. And that's, of course, for you or your partner, Taurus. Please clarify the Magician for Taurus and love. Please clarify the Magician for Taurus and love. Okay, I had a card fall out over the Magician. So the Magician's putting in the work, okay, learning some new things. Maybe it's that, the King of Pentacles went out on this journey to seek what was missing. And now he's trying to learn some new things about how to do things in love, how to do things in relationships that, he hasn't done before, as we've seen. He's trying to make a decision. And, you have the Sun here, so that's kind of a blessed thing. That's happiness. So let's see what this Three of Cups is. Please clarify the Three of Cups for Taurus and love. Please clarify the Three of Cups for Taurus and love. Okay. All right, so here's kind of what we have before we get to this last card here. We've got the Three of Cups. We've got the, the Six of Wands. So this could be, some kind of celebration. It could be victory. But, in this card, we don't know if he's setting out to battle. We don't know if he's come back to battle. We don't know if it's victorious. Sometimes, again, this can speak to uneven relationships because notice these wands, notice he's on the horse. The people in the back are standing. And his wand is higher than theirs are. So, again, this speaks to kind of like an unequal relationship. Maybe that's why you have three. Maybe that's why it was unequal, because there were three. But again, you have somebody who's kind of unhappy. They don't want to see the forest for the trees here. They're kind of concentrating on these cups down here, which, ironically are 3 cups. Instead of seeing this cup being offered to him by the universe, a blessing being offered to him. There's been some spying, maybe, some nasty communications. The page is, the knight is charging in, for victory. Maybe the Knight of Swords maybe speaks before he thinks. Okay? Things come flying out because he's so anxious to get to the battle, that he's not kind of seeing what's going on around him or how his words are affecting others. Again, you've got someone who is bruised and battered. They're still standing. So this card speaks to challenges. The guy's still here. He's still protecting what he thinks is his, but this has been a challenge. So maybe communications are going to be challenging. Somebody's juggling something, okay? They're either juggling the idea that, the relationship has been focused more on money than it has been anything else. Maybe they're juggling the idea that, there has to be something more to love than just pentacles. Maybe they're juggling 2 people. But nevertheless, somebody's still waiting for their ships to come in. They're still trying to manifest something, I think more loving. And then lastly, we have the Five of Pentacles, which is being left out in the cold. So also, if you look at this card and you think about this, you see these people here, they're together. It's them against the world. Okay? Even though they're kind of been cast out from society, they're kind of left on their own to seek shelter. But sometimes misery loves company, okay? And sometimes you're so steeped in your misery that you don't even see that there's a door for you to go through. So this could be a couple who, in this relationship, they've kind of like been tied together in their misery. They've been both concentrating on the pentacles. Maybe one's benefiting more than the other, financially. That's what I would assume with this. Maybe, they were misery loves company here, but nevertheless, to make a long story short here, the potential state of the relationship here is that somebody's going to be left out in the cold. So let's get some clarifiers on that, because again, there's not a lot of balance in this relationship. Temperance shut up right away. So again, there's more focus on one thing than there is another, and it's an uneven relationship. Please clarify 5 of Pentacles for Taurus and love. Please clarify 5 of Pentacles for Taurus and love. Okay, so the 5 of Pentacles is clarified by the King of Swords. The King of Swords is a logical king. He's looking straight at us. He doesn't have anything to hide. He's not intimidated by much. He's holding his sword kind of at a slant, because he can't just stand for truth. He kind of has to stand and make decisions as well. And sometimes he has to be a little less in his emotions to make those decisions, right? So head over heart decisions. But this also can speak to a coldness being in the relationship. Sometimes the King of Swords is in his head a little bit too much and not in his heart enough. So that could be basically why somebody's being left out in the cold, because there's coldness in this relationship. Too much about money. Little bit of passion. But this page is, they're messengers, right? But this is an immature person. We have 3 pages on the board here. So whatever other energy we're dealing with, or it could be you, Taurus, it kind of, they need more life under their belt. They need time to grow because, there's a lot of focus on money in this relationship. There's not a lot of passion. A lot of focusing on head decisions. And there's a little bit of passion. I don't see